Hello, welcome back. This will be art project number 6 with Dee Dee. And we're going to do a lesson on color and value. And we're going to be doing a landscape with some mountains. So you're going to need a few supplies. Tape to tape it off. You don't have to, but it's a choice that I like to have. I just think it kind of finishes off your piece. And don't forget, when you add the tape to your paper, that you need to fuzz it. And that means putting it on your material and then putting it on your masterpiece. I'm using 140-pound watercolor paper. You don't have to use watercolor paper, but you can. You can use computer paper, you can use construction paper, or even a paper bag works well too. I'm going to be doing this one in acrylics again. You could be doing it in watercolor, or you could be doing it in crayon, or you could be doing it in tempera paints. You only need 3 colors of paints because we're using the value of blue. So I've chosen blue. You can use purple, red, orange, and I'll be showing you some examples of different colored pieces. But you're going to need black for making the shade and white for making the tint of the color. So you're going to need 3 colors. And if you're using watercolor, you're just going to need black, water, and then the 1 color. I use a plate covered in foil for my palette, and that works well. A cup with just a little bit of water in it, paper towel, and a medium brush, and a pencil. So I always start my lessons with some background, so hang on, I'll get that up for you. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be on color and value. Okay, let's do this. You have to, there we go. All right, so we have 3 major colors that we can make any color in the whole world from, and that is blue, yellow, and red. Those are called primary colors. Those are the first colors. You find those in nature. From those 3 colors, you can make other colors. For instance, you can mix the yellow with blue, and you can get a shade of green. You can mix yellow with red, and you get the secondary shade of orange. You can mix red with blue, and you get the secondary shade of violet, also known as purple. You can also use complementary colors. Complementary colors are the colors that are across from the wheel. And most of us know red and green is symbolic of Christmas, but if you put those 2 colors together, they will complement each other. In other words, they don't blend together, they pop from each other. And if you look on the freeway, you can see a lot of the advertisements are used in complementary colors. We've got yellow across from purple, those are complementary colors. We've got blue is the complementary color of orange. And you can go out and buy a fancy color wheel from your art store. And what you do is it tells you what a tint and a shade is of each color. So if you add black to a color, it makes it darker. That's called the shade. And if you add white to a color, that makes it lighter, which is called the tint. And of course, if you were to mix other colors together, you could get thousands and thousands, actually probably millions of colors. We have warm colors, which are like the sun and the sunset. Reds, oranges, and yellows are called warm colors. We have cool colors, which are blues, purples, and greens. All of these kind of give a feeling too. Cool colors give the feeling of warmth and serenity. And the warm colors give you kind of excitement. So these are tints and shades. I want you to notice that this is the darkest color, and it goes all the way to the lightest color. By adding a color to your pure color. Let's say this is the pure color right here, this blue. If you keep adding white, it goes lighter, 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 and lighter. If you take this color right here and you add black to it, it becomes darker and you get what's called the shade of that color. And I'm going to use blue today, but you are more than welcome to use green. And those are the tints and shades of a green, or also known as the values of those colors. So the value of the color changes. Let's say this is the color that comes out of your paint can. And if you were to add white to it, these are all the different values you would get. These are the tints of them. And then if you were to add black to it, these would be the shades of that color. The color takes on different values. And here are some examples of tints and shades of each color. So this is kind of the project we're doing. These are just some examples with red. And here's lots of different colors. And this one I thought was kind of cool because it's lots of values of different colors in a piece. I really like that. Here are the values of orange, blues and greens, reds and blues. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of assimilate this one. The difference between this one and that one is that there's white in between the mountains, and I really like that. So if you're using watercolors, you would not paint that part of the mountain, and if you were using paints, you will omit it as well. So, and you don't need to. You can outline it in black if you'd like, much like these ones are. It's up to you. So today I'm going to demonstrate this particular painting. So here we go. All right. Hopefully this helps you to use some of your time wisely in your home. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just start by doing a foreground mountain. I'm going to use my pencil and I'm just going to kind of give myself very lightly, I don't know if you can see that very well, but I'm just going to give myself a mountain. Now you choose whether to make it pointed or to make it jagged or round. It's all up to you, but just make sure that you're not making them all even. I'm going to do another mountain right here. And I'm going to do another one right here. And I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do 3 of them. There's a reason why. This middle mountain, I'm going to use just the color pure. So I'm going to take my blue, and I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to pour some in my palette. And I'm going to take that pure color. There's not a tint of it. There's not a shade. And this actually is called cobalt blue. And that, of course, you can get from Michael's. You can even order it online from Amazon or Walmart. And I'm just going to paint that first mountain. And I'm going to leave an edge in between the second and third mountain. And I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to paint that. And I'm going to paint right to the edge because I've got that border there for myself, leaving an edge in between. Doesn't have to be perfect, by the way, either. So there's my true blue, I'm going to call it. This is cobalt blue. Now I can either add white to it or black, and I'm going to go ahead and use the white to it just to, this is a lot easier actually. So each time that you're going to add white to it, you're only going to add a little bit. You're not going to go all the way light right away. You're going to save that for the sky. The sky is going to be your lightest blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my blue off to the side, and I'm going to take some of my white off to the side, and I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. So I'm lightening it up a little bit. I'm making a different shade, a tint of that color. And it's a different value. That blue has a different value to it. So here we go. I'm going to add just a little bit more blue. I don't want to go completely light first because I still have to make a few more mountains. And I'm going to make another mountain. Let's see, I think I'll make this one like this. And I'm not penciling this one because I don't need to actually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave some white in between it. That's a nice periwinkle blue, I'd call that. You have to make sure that you mix enough to fill in a mountain because sometimes it's hard to mix the exact color the same again. All right, notice how I've left the white in between it. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make, oops, make sure you get all those. There we go. And I'm going to make another color by taking some of my blue. And I'm going to add more white now because it has to be a lighter color than what I had last time. And there we go. It's a lighter color now. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in. I'm going to have a little mountain going up like this, I think. And notice this is lighter. It's a different value than my pure blue or my cobalt blue that I started with. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to And I'm going to leave that white edge in between because I really like that. You don't have to do that if you don't choose to, but I just really like the way it looked. Okay, there's another mountain. And again, put a little bit of blue in there, lots more white because we want it to be much lighter now. And mix it up. Make it a different kind of a shape. Let's go like this. There we go. This is now a different value of that cobalt blue. This is a tint of that color. Anytime you add white to a color, it becomes a tint. You're tinting it with white. And I think I'm going to get my little brush out now. Sorry I didn't say that you need a little brush, but now as I'm doing the project, I'm feeling that I need a little brush to kind of get those corners. There we go, because my mountains are becoming smaller. And I want that to be kind of pointed in there. There we go. Okay, and I think I have room, yes, to fit another one in there. And so again, I'm going to use the same thing. I'm just going to add more white now because I'm definitely go. Mix it up real good. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do another mountain right here. And I think that's going to be my last mountain before I get to the sky. And I'm going to need a small brush. Sorry about that. I should have told you at the beginning that you needed a small brush. I wasn't sure. Thought I could handle it with a medium brush. And of course, leaving that white in between, just to kind of give it a little bit of character. It's a fun project, and it's a quick project too. Okay, now I'm going to paint the sky, and the sky is going to be extremely white. So I'm not even going to mix white this time. I'm just going to use the white with my brush. And that becomes a very, 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 in fact, that's not even white enough. And I'm going to keep dipping in my white to make that a white, white sky. I still have enough blue on my paintbrush, that's for sure. Okay. Keep going with my white. And I have enough blue on my paintbrush to mix in there. And get my small paintbrush and do along the edges. And this now is my sky. There we go. Oops, I need to get right here. And you know what? I'm not going to leave that white. I just decided I'm not going to leave that white edge. I'm going to go right up to the mountain with my sky. Go right to the edge with that. And I'm going to use my big brush to kind of make sure it's all going across. Okay, now I need to wash off my brush. And I won't need my small one, I'll just need my big one. Get all that white off your brush and squeeze all that moisture out with your paper towel. Okay. Now we're going to use the black, and black is a very strong color. It is very powerful, so you're not going to need that much. Black is actually pretty wide. Just a little bit. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use your pure color blue and you're going to add some black to it. Not a lot, but a little bit, just like we did with our white, except for now we're going to do it off to the side. We're going to use more blue off to the side with just a little bit of black. And it's going to darken it up. Some blue and a little bit of black. You get a nice rich color. It's pretty. So now I'm going to paint that one with the edge of white, still in between our mountains. And that's a pretty blue. That's like a midnight blue, I'd call that. And if you run out of color, you just have to mix some more. I'm just about out of color, but hopefully I can get that to last. Sometimes it's very hard to mix the exact same color again, but if you have to, you got to. Okay, so maybe I'll just change. I'm gonna have to mix a little bit. Okay, I kind of got the same color, so I'm good. Okay. So remember, I'm going to leave that edge between the mountain. Okay, here we go. Now you're going to do the darkest, darkest, darkest blue you can. So you're going to add some more black to it, and you're going to get an even darker color. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So when you're using your black, just do a little bit at a time. There we go, that's nice and dark. Make sure it's darker than that. You need to add just a little bit more black to make sure that it's darker than that other blue that I just used. Okay, there we go. Got it all mixed up. Okay, so now this color is the darkest. Still leaving that white, whoa. Pretty color. Okay, we're going to let it dry, and I'll come back to you in just a second. So it's dried a little bit, and let's just make sure that, let's say that you didn't get that nice white edge in between. You can go back in and just with your white paint and your small brush, and you can go ahead and put that white edge in there. Or it didn't quite show very well. So I'm just kind of touching up my edges with the white now. Just kind of making it just a little bit more straight right there. I kind of got carried away here. Make sure I've got some white showing here. Okay, and then when it's dry, voila. Oops, here's a couple more. Hang on. Didn't get quite a straight edge right here. So if you were doing this with watercolor, of course we don't have white watercolor, but what you could do is just keep adding more water to make it lighter, and then adding just a very small amount of black to make it darker. If you were using crayons, you could mix crayons with the white and the black, but if you have, you know, like that big, huge set of crayons, you usually have quite a number of different colors of blue and different colors of green and different colors of orange. So you could actually, you know, start with the lightest color and then end up with the darkest color. Okay, I think I like that. So the last thing we have to do is pull off the tape. And that gives it kind of a finished look. And if you ever want to see any of these videos again, they are on the Yucaipa Performing Arts website. They've got they've downloaded it onto a YouTube channel. Actually, you can go not on Facebook but on YouTube. That's the Yucaipa Performing Arts Center, and all of the videos have been downloaded on those, so you can get those. And for teachers, I think you would be able to download them onto your distance learning now for some of your kids to enjoy. Let me go ahead and tear this off. Put that behind it. When it's completely dry, the last thing you've got to do is you have to sign it. Now on this one, of course, a black marker won't show up, but if you have a light colored marker, you can sign it right there. So thank you very much. You can see this video, like I said, on YouTube on Yucaipa Performing Arts Center, or you can also see it on my Facebook page and on Yucaipa Vision Quest page as well. And this was number 6, and number 7 should be coming out pretty soon too.